Yeah, Coach, you know, in the game in Iowa City, I think the last 10 Purdue field goals were layups, and tonight when they were at their best, it was Jackson, Johnson, and Barlow again taking the ball to the goal. Anything about Purdue, or is it just something you couldn't get stopped?
I think it was a combination of a lot of things. At that particular juncture in the game, we were physically exhausted. I didn't play a lot of guys in the second half. That said, they've got the guys you're talking about are really good drivers. I think the thing that's a little bit disconcerting is they're heavy right-handed drivers, and that's where they were going, and that was something we spent a lot of time talking about. But they also do a good job of sealing off the bigs, and we've got to get separated and get around so that if he does go right, we have somebody there besides the guy who was just beating off the dribble, which, you know, they're very good at. So, you know, that was one of the things that was a little bit upsetting. That was one, and two is offensive rebounding, 13 offensive rebounds in the second half. It's going to be hard to win on the road. And then 9 turnovers in the second half. So, you know, some of it was fatigue, some of it was poor decision making, and some of it was, you know, they were executing. You know, I think at some point, you know, we always talk about what we don't do, what we didn't do, what we should have done, and at some point I think you have to give Purdue credit for executing down the stretch better than we did.
Rick?
Fran, did you like the effort you got coming off that Michigan State game, first of all, and second of all, that big run? They had a big run over the 2 halves. It got you behind. What, from your perspective, what was happening there?
Well, I think the good thing there, Rick, was we made another run back at them. I think that was a big key for us. You know, we had it to 11. We're on the free throw line, getting ready to make it 12. They battled back and get it to 5. We had a couple chances offensively, didn't convert. They did. The first possession of the second half was upsetting. We're in the zone, and we lose Ryan Smith. Now, I can assume that you figure we probably mentioned that if we were in the zone, we need to know where he is. So that was unfortunate. But to his credit, he still made it, and he still shot it deep. I mean, he's got incredible range. So again, he still had to jump up and make the shot. So, you know, I took a timeout. They erased the 5-point lead quickly. And then we seemed to struggle offensively. I mean, they really got up into us. I thought we had some clean looks, shots we were making in the first half we weren't making. The one thing we didn't do in that stretch, which was, I think, very important, is we didn't get any seconds. When they were struggling, they got seconds. When we were struggling, we didn't get any seconds. So the only thing that really worked for us was the zone in the second half. We got 4 stops in a row, got some runouts, and cut it to 2.
Kind of 2 questions here. One, do you think in that run to start the second half, you had good looks, as you mentioned, but your guys were just a little too precise, it almost looked like, when they're in the lane and had open shots? And then second, about Zach McCabe's play, I think this is a career high today for him.
Well, I thought Zach was spectacular in both halves. I think, you know, the plays you're referring to, Scott, I think in particular, Eric May got to the rim twice in that stretch where we were really struggling. I mean, he got it right to the rim. Actually, it was more a little 4-footer, a little 5-footer. It rolled off both of them. And I think if those 2 had gone in, it would have given us another weapon. You know, we were trying to get some other people involved. It was primarily McCabe, White, and Marble offensively. So we needed, you know, a Basabi, an Eric May, a Cartwright, somebody else to step up and do something for us offensively. And you know, Cartwright did a little bit. I thought he was pretty good.
Right.
Go back to my previous question. Are you happy with the effort you got coming off that game at Michigan State a week ago?
Happier. I don't know if happy's the word, Rick. I mean, we lost the game. We had an opportunity to win the game. But I thought we fought. I thought our concentration to the defensive game plan for the most part was good. It obviously wasn't good late. We talked about that during the first question. That was disappointing. But again, that comes down, I think, to a combination. Like I said, we were a little fatigued at that point. And they were going hard off the dribble, and they were in the bonus, and then quickly in the double bonus. So you really don't want to foul, but at some point you got to stop them.
Scott? In regards to Melson, looked like he was fighting on defense, but getting foul trouble really early, he just seemed to really throw him out of his...
You know what, he never got it going. He got too early. The mistake I made was I should have put the kid back in the game. with 2. Because when he sits for 15 minutes, he's just not as effective in the second half. So I probably should have done that. I didn't do it because White and McCabe were playing so well, because I was thinking about doing that. And then at the start he gets his 3rd, and then I put him back in, he gets his 4th. He never really seemed to get settled down. And we need him in a game like this, because when a team is rebounding like that, especially offensively, he's a terrific defensive rebounder. We need him in there.
Coach, now that you got 9 days off here before you play Nebraska, how do you divide up the schedule as far as what you have laid out for the players, and when you go back to practices, when you put the scout in for Nebraska, I guess how do you put all that together?
Well, the first thing we have to do, today was the first day of classes, so we missed that, so it's academic preparation, so they'll go back, get ready for classes, get organized, make sure everybody's in the right classes. Probably a good time to have 9 days off. We won't start locking into Nebraska until 2 days before the game. I mean, we will as a staff, we won't in terms of the team, so we'll get a little recruiting in as a staff, and we'll start working individually on some of the things that we felt were breakdowns in this game and the games that we lost, and try to improve.
Okay.
Thank you.